Hello, I'm Javier Mota here from Miami.
And I'm Nick Miles, and I'm here in Portland, Oregon.
And Nick, we were supposed to be in Palm Springs for the Jeep Gladiator Desert rated test drive. So what happened?
The COVID-19 happened and canceled all of our work. So now we're just driving around trying to entertain ourselves.
Hopefully entertain the people who are watching. And yeah, I mean, actually, I think we were talking yesterday, and we have counted, what, 16 events canceled so far in the past, what, month?
Yeah, like 6 weeks, including some trips to see great new vehicles in Germany and England. The one I'm most disappointed about is driving the brand new Land Rover Defender. I was really looking forward to that, but even things in the middle of May have been canceled. So that's 6 weeks out. We're gonna have to find ways of entertaining ourselves. Well, I guess we are entertaining ourselves right now.
Exactly. We were actually talking about the Defender event in England when we were in Vancouver driving the Volkswagen Cross Sport, which was actually our last trip. I think it was for me. I don't know if it was for you too. Remember?
I did a Honda CR-V hybrid after that in Arizona, which was really nice. That was my last trip.
For now, car production is pretty much halted all around the world, but there's still significant cars out there. So what are you driving this week out in Portland?
I'm driving right now. I'm sitting inside the brand new 2020 Lexus GSF, which is a really, really bright yellow color and a little bit scary, but also it's nice to have such an old school V8 rear wheel drive, because if we can get back to normal, this is the car to do it in.
I'm actually driving a kind of similar car. This is the Infiniti G60S, the red line version. So this is 400 horsepower. It's a V6, but it has the special kit for the exhaust system, which it sounds really, really good. I'm standing, but like you can hear it a little bit.
That sounds amazing. I will tell you that this has an amazing exhaust too. And you put your foot down, I don't know if you can hear it, but
oh wow, yeah.
A little bit of a V8 engine. There's nothing wrong with this. The sad thing about this GSF is this is basically the last GFs that Toyota or Lexus is going to make, because the GS is kind of getting retired. This is a real sports sedan, and it's a great sports sedan, but everything on this is pretty old school. It's still kind of fun to drive, but it's kind of old school. The tech is definitely old school.
Yeah, but I think with everything that is happening now, I mean, who knows? Like, really nobody really knows what's gonna happen, but I think car companies are gonna have to like reevaluate the strategy looking forward, because I mean, for example, electric hybrid cars, they're not making any money or very little money. And now, as you are driving a V8, I'm having a V6 here, maybe the internal combustion engine is gonna get a boost out of this. I don't know. What do you think? By the way, I'm gonna start driving a little bit, so because I'm jealous of you.
So I'm gonna start driving.
Yeah, look, I think you're absolutely right, Javier. I think what's going to end up happening is that gas is going to see a resurgence. We're going to kind of put the environmental stuff on hold for a while, because that was an initiative that doesn't really support functioning as normal in the world. So we're actually going to probably relax some of those laws for now. I don't think it's going to be a permanent thing, but at the same time, energy is going to become more valuable. Gas prices have dropped immensely. I have a friend who buys diesel commercially, and they were telling me that they're buying that for 88 cents a gallon when they buy commercial diesel.
Wow.
So that's really, really low. Most of us are paying around $2 and less a gallon for gasoline right now. It could drop even further. So it makes sense to have a big SUV. Plus, I think because people are getting nervous, look, you've seen the lines at the gun store, because people are thinking, well, I maybe have to go hunt my food in the future. But at the same time, I think people are going to say, listen, if I have to go live in the middle of nowhere away from people to save myself from COVID-19, it's not necessarily a sports sedan that I'll do that in. It's probably more like a big truck, a big SUV, something that can actually get my whole family, my dogs, my kids in, and all my gear, and go out into the wilderness. So I think people are going to start thinking that way.
Not gonna be an electric car either, because like again, if it's gonna be that kind of situation, I mean, the infrastructure is not there now, and car companies and the whole automotive industry is not going to have all the resources that they were deploying towards that kind of technology now that this has happened. I mean, like, the industry is going to get a huge hit out of this for sales, for everything. So I mean, we're gonna go back 5-10 years in terms of what was going on with the industry, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're probably even more than that, but I only think it's temporary. I think the other thing that's going to happen, which is going to be surprising for a lot of people, is that those companies that weren't doing so well are going to get rid of a lot of their models and cancel a lot of stuff. Lifestyle cars are going to be less of an option. It's going to be more, you know, utility vehicles. Instead of seeing vehicles like this, the GSF, and vehicles that you're driving, you're probably going to see more things like Trackhawks, where you're going to get SUVs that have amazing performance, or you're going to get other vehicles like that have amazing performance. And so people are going to sort of get into this. It's got to be a utility vehicle, even if it has great performance and a good 0 to 60 mile an hour time. Plus, I think those brands that, you know, the vehicles that just weren't selling well, we saw Ford cancel all of their sedans except for the Mustang, all of their cars except for the Mustang. We saw GM do the same. I suspect you'll see cars and small companies kind of roll over. So I would suspect you'll see Mitsubishi roll into Nissan. I suspect you'll see companies get rid of things like Chrysler, get rid of the 300 and turn it into an SUV. Those type of things are going to change rapidly.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking about companies that are in trouble or were in trouble already, like Nissan Infiniti, I mean, driving one of their cars now, but like they were already like pretty much an old lineup in both brands. They just celebrated the 30th anniversary back in New Mexico last year, and they had the 30th anniversary edition for all the lineup, but they don't really have a new significant car. And like with this happening, maybe all the plans, design work, the research and development, all that must have had stopped already, and like they're gonna have to go to square one again. So I mean, they were already in trouble, plus not to mention the Carlos Ghosn story that is still there, nobody's talking about now. So Nissan is one of those companies that are gonna have to probably reevaluate even deeper than that.
Yeah, there's worse and there's best case scenarios, right? So if you look at worst case scenarios, you could look at something like, you know, some of these companies disappearing, like companies like Honda saying Acura is not important. We're going to just make one Honda brand now, and we'll do luxury versions of our cars. You could see Infiniti do the same. You might also, in the best case scenarios, what you see is car companies start to operate leaner. So they start to say, listen, we're going to lessen our models, which was already happening, by the way. I mean, Mercedes and BMW were already lessening their models. Sorry. Gotta do this.
Yeah. Speaking of BMW, they just had announced the i4 concept car that was supposed to come into production in 2021. So like a lot of uncertainty now, like nobody knows what's going to happen, but for now, I mean, this is what we're going to be doing for the next, a month, 6 weeks, maybe. So it was nice to talk to you, Nick. I'm going to let you go back and enjoy that Lexus over there in Portland. I'm driving in Miami. My weather is a little bit better than yours, I think.
Yeah, I'm dealing with gray skies and rain. I had to use the windshield wipers just to be able to mount the cameras today. So, yeah, listen, have fun driving. I'm totally jealous of the weather, although I'm actually out in the country right now enjoying a country drive. So I'm staying away from the big city.
Me too. I mean, very little traffic, very light traffic here in Miami. I'm sure it's the same there. And that's what it's supposed to happen. So we'll talk soon, Nick, and I mean, subscribe to our channel, like follow us. We are still working in a very different way, but we are working still.
Hey Javier, I miss you.
Me too, Nick. See you.
Talk to you later.
Bye.